Hello, my people. Back on the Twilight Facebook Lives. I went out tonight for a curry and a drink with some friends from church. Had an absolutely amazing time. Sorry, just trying to let this light in. Yeah, lots of laughter and silliness, and yeah, talking life, video games, dressing up, and flappy apps. And that's as much as I'm going to say on that one. If you're there, you know what I mean. Anyway, back on this. Hope you all had a good day. Are you still taking part in the edification challenge? Who you been building up today? Who have you sent that message to? Who have you sent that voice to? Hey Tom, how you going, man? Who have you sent that voice message to? Nana, my man, how you doing, man? Who have you built up today? I haven't done it today, be honest with you. But like I said, it doesn't have to be every day. I did one yesterday, I may do one tomorrow. Just do it. Do it when you have a spare moment in your time. Anyway, today's message is inspired by my work colleague, Lucy Coy. And the reason it's inspired by her, I was listening to her talking to a colleague yesterday. Now what it is, I work for a company called Haven Power. We supply electricity to businesses. It's not a plug, it's what I do. And we have a credit control department, as most businesses do. And whenever we get a significant amount of money, doesn't have to be a lot of money. If we've been chasing a customer for debt, could be we've been trying to chase that debt for a good few years, been complex queries. But whenever we get that money in, there's a bell. One of the managers has a bell, and she rings the bell. Everyone does a round of applause. Then an email goes round explaining why the bell has been rung. Now, Lucy, what happened yesterday is that our colleagues from a different team were jesting about something, and they said, shall we pretend to ring the bell? And they mimicked the sound. This is a proper bell that is used usually by, like the old school bell, if you remember back then. They're probably all electronic now, something. But anyway, back in the day, you used to have the old school bell. And yeah, this other team were jesting about something, joking about something, and they said, well, why don't we pretend to ring the bell? And they mimicked the sound of a bell. It was a much quieter sound. And automatically, my colleague, Lucy, clapped. And she basically went on to say, like, whenever she hears a bell, she claps, because that's what she's been used to in the time she's been at Haver Power. I think it's been 6 months, Lucy, or maybe coming up to close to a year now. And she was just saying it's on autopilot, it's in her head. Something as simple as a bell ringing, she firstly assumes that with being at work. So, like I say, automatically she clapped. And I didn't think anything of it, but I was just reflecting on that today, and I thought I need to speak to her and just remember what she said, because there's a message in that. There's a message in that, and it's about being on autopilot. What things do we do on autopilot, or if you want to get technical, subconsciously? What are those habits we have? What are those behaviours that we have that we just do without even thinking? Some would say without even, you don't even realise you do it. Now, my wife, in her family, they have a trait that, and it's not coincidence, there's a trait that whenever they're concentrating, they stick their tongue out, and they don't even realise they're doing it. It's just a trait, it's a habit, it's something they do on autopilot that they have. So what do you have, what do you do on autopilot? What do you do that you maybe don't reckon that what other people have noticed in you that you don't even realise that you do on a regular basis? Now, there's two ways to look at what I'm talking about. You've got the good side, so there's some things which are good to have in your subconscious. Now, I've been driving for nearly, I think, 15, 20 years. I'm aging, man. And I think, I passed my test in 1998. I passed my test at the fourth time going. First test, too young, too naive. Second and third test, bit of a conspiracy theory there, I think. Had the same instructor, wasn't happy with him, but that's sour grapes. I weren't ready. Fourth attempt, I passed. Now, you can imagine taking your test 4 times. There's not a great deal going on autopilot. Everything is concentration, talking it through in your head, etc. I've been driving, like I say, 15, 20 years now, and I don't even have to think. Those things I used to get so stressed about, I don't even have to think about them. They're on autopilot. there's still a level of consciousness, because every time you go on the road, there's no two journeys which are the same. You never meet exactly the same cars and the same obstacles, so you always have to have a consciousness about you. But I don't talk myself through how to drive my car. I just go in and do it, and that's fine. I've learned the technique, I've learned the skills, and now it's in my brain as an autopilot. That's a good route to go down. But what about those things, the habits that are not so good? The ones you try and change, but it's so ingrained in your head, you just do it. Like for me, there's at times when I get stressed and I feel the need to eat something, and sometimes I don't even realise I'm doing it, and the autopilot part of me, the subconscious, is a lot louder than the conscious. And sometimes I'll try and tell myself not to do it, but it soon gets drowned out by the subconscious mind and behaviour, the repetitive behaviour, and that's something I need to stop, because that's not a good habit to have on autopilot. So my message to you today is, what are the good habits that you have on autopilot? Continue with them, but more so, what are some of the aspects that you want to change? It's like the typical ones, like people say they want to lose weight, right? What are the behaviours that you're not necessarily what you're eating or what you're exercising? Yes, they are important, but what are the behaviours? What are the feelings that you have that causes you to overeat or eat the wrong foods? And they're usually common things that happen. Like I say, stress is one for me. Could be a number of other things as well. What are those things, common things that you do that triggers that autopilot behaviour? And it's about recognising and talking to yourself. And anyone says they don't talk to themselves is probably talking to themselves in response to what I just said. They're probably saying no to themselves in the head. So we all talk to ourselves, some vocal out, some more often in. So it's about recognising those behaviours as you're in the subconscious process of doing them, and just saying no, or talking to yourself, no, I'm not going to carry on like that, making that conscious decision. Now, going back to the example about the car on autopilot, last year we bought a new car. The reason we bought a new car is because, hey Rids, how you doing? Did you talk tonight, Rids? I think you talked tonight, Royal Festival Hall. I've just seen some of the pictures and what have you. What to talk about? Yeah. So yeah, last year we bought a new car. The reason we bought a new car is because we had a number of problems buying second-hand cars. We almost went to court on one, and it just wasn't worth the headache, the stress of a young family. So we bought a new car, and now all my life I've been used to the handbrake, the traditional handbrake. You know, the lever that goes up. There's only been one car where it had a push-down handbrake. So 15, 20 years of my life, I've been used to driving with a handbrake car. Now we get this new car and there's no handbrake lever. There's an electronic one that you push. Oh, you just speak to now. How did it go? Did it go well, Wids? It looked good. It looked good. So now, yeah, from going from the handbrake for 15, 20 years, lever, I now have to push a button. And I don't even need to push the button to release the handbrake. I just literally can drive off. Now I have to talk to myself about, because I'm so used to autopilot to going like that, to having to go like that. I literally, the first few days, weeks, probably even months I had the car, and bearing in mind I only drive the car probably once, twice a week. My wife has it most of the time. I literally had to try and turn off that autopilot. So most of the time I'm still doing the motion, but I have to say to myself, no, you need to push down the electronic handbrake and talk it through. And that's where taking yourself off autopilot to what you need. Same activity, driving a car, but just driving a different model, means I have to relearn behaviours. I need to talk to myself and tell myself, no, doing that doesn't work in this car. I need to do that. So what are those habits you got? It could be a job. It could be a job that you're on autopilot on. You don't like the job. You want to change it. But at the end of the day, that employer's paying you. So you need to take yourself off autopilot. You need to stop telling yourself those negative thoughts and just think to yourself, what do you say? Imagine it's your first day at the job. I remember one of the directors at the company out now, she said every day she goes in with the attitude that she's having to prove herself to her boss all over again, and every day she goes in with that attitude. For the most part, I don't go in with that attitude. I've got my own high standards like I like to achieve. I'm a human. Some days I feel rough. Yesterday I felt rough, and it's just about getting through the day. So this message to you today is recognize the autopilot behavior. Recognize those things you do on autopilot. The things which are good, continue to do them. If you need to refine them, make them better. Those things that don't, or if you're doing the same activities, but maybe like I say, the car, driving a car but a different model, and maybe you have to step up, you have to change. It could be in the same company, but you're going into a higher position or just a different position. And what are those things on autopilot that you need to change? And for me, and I'm not an expert on it, the only way you can do it is to talk to yourself or talk yourself out of what you've been doing before. It's like you hear a lot of speakers talking about things like I use animals, so like a frog. Like a frog is one of, obviously it can jump quite high. I'm not going to pretend to be a frog. You all know what a frog is. You know how it jumps. But if you put a frog in a cage and you put a lid on it, doesn't matter how high that frog can jump. If you've got that barrier, it can't get past there. Now, if you keep that barrier there for a significant period of time, then you take it off. The frog is so used to jumping that high, more often than not, it will just, without the barrier, just keep jumping that high. What are some of the negative things that your parents have told you? You can't do this, you can't do that. This, that. You'll never be able to do that. And trust me, believe it, that voice, pitch, sound of voice still be in your head, even when your parents are not around, even if you moved out of home. It's so ingrained in your subconscious. And then you believe it and you take that. But who's to say? The kind of thing I'm asking myself at the moment, because we all have self-limiting beliefs unless you've grown up in an environment when you're told that anything is possible. More so than your education, anything's possible. You could do anything, try anything. That wasn't my environment. So what I'm starting to tell myself, if I'm trying to achieve something, I'm saying the question I'm asking myself: why not me? Why not? Why not? Give it a go. Why not? Who's to say that I can't do this or I can't do that if other people didn't? Why not me? Why not me? Why not you? Whatever it is you want to achieve, why not you? If you haven't got the necessary skills, find out what you need to do and learn the skills. Or just have a go first and learn later. Why not you? So that's me. That's what I'm going to shout out some people. We got Thomas on the line. Thomas was one of the people with me tonight. Had a great curry. It was a great price, great value as well. We had a laugh, we had a jokes, all kind of random stuff. Nana, I've got to watch your video, man. I'm seeing your profile. You're speaking up on disability, and yeah, I need to have a conversation at some point. I need to see what you've been doing and then see where perhaps I can add some value, or you can add some value to me. Rids has been speaking tonight. Rids has been on a speaking program with me. Rids, did you speak to? I don't know if you said that. I think you spoke to like 2,000 people or something last Sunday. It's amazing. And anyone else who's watching, I can't see. Yeah, hope you well. Hope this message is added value. So someone just put a like, but I can't see. No, I can't see who liked me, who liked the video. So yeah, I hope you like this video. If this video is not for you, if there's someone else that you think can benefit, then please share it. I'm just doing this stuff. I'm doing this stuff for free. I'm trying to become a public speaker, whatever you want to call it. I'm just trying to share a message and share value with people. I've got a bigger story behind this. I think it's one of my first 2 videos. I need to post a link to that. If you're wondering why I'm doing this, you recently become a friend. Why am I doing all this? Why am I talking like near 12 o'clock? Well, I should be going to bed. Then there's reasons behind this. I'm not just doing this for the fun of it. Although I'm having fun doing it, I'm not doing this for the fun of it. So I think one of my videos, I've called A New Beginning or Why. One of them two. will give you, obviously paint the picture of why I'm doing this. I'm gonna love and leave you, because I can't get my words out. And the main man, Utam has joined. You joining right at the end, Utam, man. Where were you at the beginning? Hey, you don't support me no more, man. You don't love me no more. Past. Maybe I'll preach next week, man. Maybe I'll preach next week. But yeah, look out for Utam. Utam's doing some podcasts soon, man. So listen out for them. He's doing big and beautiful things, but just a heart to do the small stuff and the big stuff. So look out for them. Podcast is actually something I've been thinking about doing one day. I'll do a video about that. Back in the day, me and my brother and sister, we used to have our own radio show. I'm only joking, man. He just got home. I'm joking, man. Yeah, me and my brother and my sister, when we were kids, man, we used to do this. We used to do our own radio shows. Back before pirate radios, back before podcasts, it was us just doing our radio shows and a Fisher Price cassette recorder. I need to find out the name of that Fisher Price cassette recorder. It was a little brown thing. And my mum used to tell us off when we were supposed to be sleeping. I wish we had those cassette tapes. I don't know what happened to them. But I am digressing. I am going off on tangents, whatever you want to call it. Love you, leave you. Last video of the week tomorrow. I don't think I'll be doing one over the weekend. Time of rest and reflection. And yeah, those good times, that radio show. And look where I am now, man. Could possibly have a podcast. Who would have thought it? Have a great day. Remember the edification challenge. Big up someone in your life. Big up someone who's been in your life before. Send them a message, not to get a reply. Just tell them how they impacted your life. My video yesterday. What was it called? The Paradigm Game. How do you see yourself? How do you see yourself in the future? Looking at things a different way. Today's message, which I can't even remember. I got to be a bit more professional with these. What was it called? What have I been talking about? What have I been talking about? I had one-sider, alright? I had one-sider and an eliminated line. Autopilot, yeah, autopilot. And if you want to know more about me, first two videos, why, and a new beginning, not necessarily in that audio. Love you and leave you. See you later. And I'm supposed to be finishing. I appreciate you too, until gotta go.